Welcome to the Watchlist, the show where we scout the ones who don't, and we just hoop. We just hoop. They lead, powered by TAAN-TV and delivered straight from the gyms of Texas. Today's episode shines its light on 6'6" wing out of Alamo Heights, Mr. Alex Elliott. Strong body, smart, big upside, coming off a breakout junior year and heading into his senior year. We'll get all up into that. But Alex, how you doing, man? Glad to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Getting there, man. We're about to bust into August, and we'll be heading back to school and getting into routines. So that's a lot of what I like. I
Yes,
like
sir.
routines.
Yeah, me
But
too.
anyway, let's jump off, man. Alamo Heights. I won't say that it was a record-breaking year, but y'all had a really terrific year. Uh, what you know what did you make out of yourself last year? You made a real name for yourself, but what clicked for you as a junior?
Um, it was just a continual work. Like I feel like most of the stuff I did my junior year, I could have done my sophomore year, but my team didn't need that from me. They needed other things, and so I went from a defensive player to contributing a lot and scoring.
And that's probably my big conversation with coaches when they ask about your game. I
Mhm.
always tell them like he's going to rebound. He's going to be very physical in the glass. Um, he's going to be physical in the paint, but he can score and he can score in bunches. But just like you said, that wasn't the role. You had four seniors on that team, and it was you really excelled in your role, and that's one of the
Sure
key
thing.
points because when you go to college, man, they're looking for puzzle pieces.
Mhm.
You look up and down some of these circuit league rosters, and nobody's scoring 20 points a game. That's
Yeah.
real. But
That was us this year. We had I think our highest score was 11 points, and I was our second with like 10, but like our whole starting lineup averaged like over 8.
yeah,
So I mean, we got you couldn't just pick one person to defend. You had to defend our whole team.
I remember you sharing too that you had a couple of big games out there in Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
Must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it did. Getting back into AAU style basketball, definitely there was a little learning curve there, just because coming off of a set like plays and going into AAU where it's kind of like you're trying to showcase yourself and trying to market yourself. But no, yeah, I had a couple 20-point games. Our team success maybe wasn't there, but I was definitely showing what I could do.
You know, uh, let's just put the obvious out there.
Mhm.
You can be a matchup problem at 6'6", about 210. I'm sure that number's changed. Uh,
Mhm.
but how do you use your size to your advantage?
And so I used to actually play post like back in like I don't know like sixth, seventh grade, and so I still all have that in my arsenal. So when I get a matchup that our team thinks is favorable, they'll put me on an island with that guy in the post, and I try to score.
If someone were to ask you, what's your mindset look like every time you step on the floor? How would you answer that question?
Win. There's yeah win. If it means that I get kind of like my sophomore year, I played a good amount, but I was defense. I was defense first, and scoring for me was just kind of bonus. But junior year, I've stepped up a little bit more, and they need a little bit more scoring. But whatever the team needs, I'm more than willing to do that.
You know, um, and we're just talking about different schools that you have interest, they have interest, but when this is your opportunity, man, to what do you want the city and college coaches to know about your evolution as a player?
Um, I feel like my high school coach called me like a multi-tool, like a Swiss Army knife, and I feel like wherever I go, I can help, and depending like almost anything they need, I can I can do just about it all.
Yeah, you know, um, it's funny because we were talking prior off air. We talked about uh, You started out after your freshman year. Coach told you really needed to work on your defense, so that was your
Hmm.
focus as a sophomore. And
Hmm.
as a junior, you picked up a different role. And what do you expect your role to look like going into your senior year?
Well, we lost 4 seniors, and they were big leaders, so we'll definitely need a leader out of me because at the end of the day, I'm one guy, and our team success will be determined by not just me. It will be determined by 1 through 10. So if I can be a leader and I can elevate my kind of like the sophomores and juniors play, then I feel like we'll be successful.
You know, let's you talk, you play
Hmm.
with strength uh, and hold your own. But I want you to talk a little bit about what your strength and conditioning work looks like during the summer.
Um, well, stamina and slash conditioning is kind of something I've really needed to work on, and I have been. I've been running 2 miles throughout the summer, kind of as much as I could, probably. And my strength, I work with a plyometrics trainer, and just trying to get me to jump higher, be faster, be quicker, blow by people.
You know, we always talk about, or I do,
Hmm.
people in your circle, people in my circle, uh, those close to you. But who's someone in your circle that keeps you grounded and hungry?
Um, my dad for sure. My dad, he doesn't let me get complacent. I mean, he constantly reminds me I haven't done anything. Like I haven't done anything of. I mean, we've had team success, but I haven't done anything. I haven't gotten any offers. So like, there's no way I should be taking days off. I should be working as much as I can because the
That's
clock's
fair.
ticking.
Yeah. But like we said, we're going to trust the process.
Oh, for
You
sure. Yes,
know?
sir.
But you got to do your portion, and you are. Um, but let's talk about what do you think the next level version of you is this year? I know you
For my
talked
senior
about
year,
yeah, I know you talked about leadership, but each year you've taken on a different role. Do you think you score more this year? Do you think you're more of of teach and direct, kind of explaining what Coach Brewer wants on the floor?
I think I'm gonna be scoring more for sure, and I'm gonna have some big matchups that maybe last year I had other people on my team that could help me, but this year, like I'm gonna be guarding some like I'm gonna be guarding Bo Ogden from Westlake. I think in
Mhm.
November. That's that's gonna be a tough one. I mean, I have some big names in my district like Mason and Trayvon, so taking up those defensive responsibilities as well.
Yeah, one thing about your district, we laugh at, but you got a lot of opportunities to make a name for yourself
Yeah.
when you go through that list because you also then have Jermichael and Zayden over there at Vets.
Hmm. Oh
They've had
yeah.
big summers, uh, so. But let's talk a little bit more. I know that you're very academically strong.
Hmm.
Just and we talk. I saw where you got a very high weighted GPA and all that.
Hmm.
But what stood out? You stood out not just on the court, but in the classroom.
Hmm.
What drives your academic discipline?
My mom. I would lie to you if she didn't stay on my butt about that. But I also believe that if if I want to go play college basketball, I need to keep all my options open. And so a high GPA, good test scores can really propel me to play where I want to.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true, man. Like you look at it floats around every once in a while about your GPA level and what allows you to get into what school, all those things um,
Hmm.
come into play when you're talking about being a recruitable prospect. Um, let's talk about this, man. I know mom reminds you and stays with you,
Hmm.
but how do you balance schoolwork and basketball, especially during the season?
During the season, especially my junior year, was tough. Um, but I mean, no pass, no play, obviously. But I just think that as long as I just did my work, I mean, I would be lying if I told you like I didn't fall behind a few times, but like for the most part, it was school, practice, homework, maybe like an hour or two where I could, I don't know, relax, do nothing, but and then sleep, get ready for an early morning the next day. So just time management.
You know, it's funny because all throughout basketball, we talk about trust the process, right?
Mhm.
Well, in all honesty, man, last year for you, uh, in your junior year, that was brand new for to have a deep playoff run like that.
Mhm.
So I, that's going to be great for you moving forward because you've already
Mhm.
experienced it one time,
Yeah.
and so there's never another first time. And I remember the first time I had to balance some of those things on road trips in college. That was always interesting,
Mhm.
So that doesn't go away, especially at some of the great institutions that you're talking about possibly attending.
Yes, sir.
Um, one thing, coaches don't just recruit stats, they don't just recruit GPAs.
Mhm.
But if I was to pull up on just one of your teachers and ask, tell me a little bit more about Alex, what do you hope they'd say?
Um, See, I feel like I have a great relationship with most of my teachers, or at least I did last year. And so I would want them to tell them that I'm a great kid, or a good student, and an even better kid. Feel like I wasn't getting in trouble very much. I was doing my work, and so maybe a hard worker would be another
Hard work.
one.
Yeah, and um, whenever you're in, I know that I know personally because of my children going through high school and how competitive the GPA battle is all the way
Mhm.
through. Uh, I think you have a 4.36 or 4.63. Uh,
Yeah, weighted, yeah, something like
yeah, you don't have very many off days out,
that. Yeah,
so I think you're good on there. But what's one goal beyond basketball that you're pretty passionate about?
I just want to be successful. I don't know exactly what I want. What I want to do is my 9 to 5 when I eventually get one, but I want to be successful and I just want to be successful.
Okay,
And successful always isn't monetary, like
yeah,
being a good person, having a good amount of friends, like it's all aspects of my life.
that's what I was gonna say, man. Like, I guess that's a kind of a lead-in question, and maybe you've covered it already. But like, how or what do you say this is what success is going to look like for me?
The success means so much, so different for so many different people. Like some people measure success with money, some people measure success with your family and like your friends, but I I think it's a combination of everything.
Man, it's funny. I just let you know, Kingston,
Mhm.
Kingston, just chimed in on the Twitter tomorrow. Let's go, Alex. So there's
Mhm.
still a lot of love back and forth with those guys you played with, and it's funny because it reminded me of what we used to, as a kid growing up, we
Mhm.
used to think that success was being fat and happy. Uh, fat because you had food, you
Yeah.
know, and you had food, so you're happy. So just yeah. All right, so senior season's coming up. We've already hit on that somewhat, but what are your goals this year for this year?
Um, I just want to go back to where we were. I want to make another state run, and I want to team success before personal success because I feel like if you have team success, I'm gonna have personal success.
Yeah, and as long as you uh, place those goals like you just said, with team first, um, you know, it's all going to come together. And the biggest thing at the end of the day is, are you a winner? And that's what
Yeah.
coaches want to know: are you a winner? And that's good, man. Um, let's talk about biggest lessons you learned from last year, or your first 3 years of high school basketball, what would you say one or two of those lessons?
Um, See, I actually have a funny story. So my freshman year, I was playing on JV, and I got pulled up to varsity for the playoffs, and we were playing Wagner, who was 100% more talented than us.
Mm.
But I think we went down 12 after the first half, and at the second half, we held them to 4 points in the whole half.
Oh, geez.
And that's insane. I mean, like, especially for a team as talented as them. And so that really just like showed me how much like coming together and believing in what you're doing and what the coach is saying, and having your teammates back can really propel you to succeed.
Yeah, man. That's a good story. That's something good to pull off of, later
Yeah.
on in life. Um, if you could write the headline for your final season, what's it gonna say?
Um, it'd probably be something like Mules return to state tournament. That's what I wanted. That's what I'd want it to say. I just, yeah, for sure.
So let me ask you this, man. Like,
Hmm.
because my at Southern Arkansas, our mascot was the Mule Riders, right?
Yeah.
What's it like for your mascot to be a mule?
It's unique. I don't know how many other mules I've seen, but definitely have some mule pride.
I mean, that's almost as unique as the New Braunfels mythical creatures they have.
The unicorns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and anyway, let's get off of that. But for some reason, that's always intrigued me. All right, man. So, when college coaches are reaching out,
Uh-huh.
we talked a few. What are you looking at from your film or in the conversation? What are you hoping stands out?
Um, I would say my versatility. Because they'll watch a highlight tape and they can see just about anything. They can see passing, they can see shooting, they can see finishing up there, and they can see defense. And I feel like it's all at a high level or somewhat high level. And so I think my versatility I'd want to stand out.
You know what, man? And I told you before the show,
Hmm.
one of the things that I love that you've done is gone back through and pulled enough clips to have a full highlight reel of just 3-point shooting, just entry passes to the post, just guarding the post, guarding guards, guarding wings. Because to me, that was just first time I've seen it. I'm not saying it's the first time I've ever done, but first time I had seen it. And the only thing that really compared to that was DJ Jordan when he put that minute and a half clip of all the charges he had taken.
Yeah.
So shout out DJ, shout out you Alex, man. That was a great thing because you answered every coach's question to the best of your ability
Hmm.
with those clips. And we are kind of wind down and talking about the recruiting in real life, But let's talk about what kind of system or style of play do you think brings the best out of you?
Um, I feel like coaches who I can make mistakes and I don't have to fear getting pulled out and all that. But I do know that there's a level of trust you have to build with a coaching staff. But just a transparent coaching staff, I'd feel like Coach Brewer does a great job. He tells you he even has a scoring system to tell you how much you impacted the team positively or negatively, and just that transparency really helps me.
Yeah, he is. It's been interesting because I've kind of gleaned things in conversations, and you're right, man. He's a very analytical dude, uh, very relatable. You
Mhm.
know. Um, let's see. We hit one more, man. What do coaches need to know about Alex Elliott that the box score can't tell?
I've been told by almost every coach I've played for that I'm a hard worker on the court. Like I'm flying around just trying to rebound, defend, all that. So I feel like hard worker, something that won't show up in the box score, but will definitely see it when I play.
And we'll put this here. Like I said, we're winding down, but just in case people missed it, you are very much that multi-tool, that Swiss Army knife type of player. When people are talking about positionless basketball, the move to positionless basketball, I feel like you got the size, the strength, the mobility to cover most, if not all, aspects. And you know, as we pull to the end, you know, like I said, big body, big motor, strong student academically. That's you in a nutshell. Alamo Heights, they've got a leader in their hands this year with all that senior leadership that graduated college programs. Don't let it slip by because you're only looking at one stat. But there's been another episode of the Watch List, powered by TAAN-TV and fueled by the grind. It never stops. Keep an eye on Alex Elliott this season because the one-eyed scout sees what others miss. We'll catch you on the next one, and you already know it ain't for everybody. And thanks, Alex, again for joining us today, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for inviting me.